In this episode, we're going to talk about one of the best high proof Blancos I have ever tasted. It is the Carrera Still Strength 54% Blanco right here on the Tequila Hombre. Coming up next. Hello and welcome to this episode of the Tequila Hombre, where today we're going to be taking a look at and diving deep down into the story behind this brand new high proof Blanco that's come out that is the best high proof Blanco I have tried to date. It is the Carrera 54%. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about the background of this, try to get out in front of any misinformation that may be presented out on the internet. As you know, internet is full of misinformation, and we'll give you the true story behind this amazing expression, and while you should try to get some here on the Tequila Hombre. So let's not waste any more time. Let's talk a little bit about this amazing high proof Blanco. All right, so first let's talk a little bit about how this high proof Blanco came to become. I actually worked with the Camarena family on creating this high proof Blanco. Now, it was kind of an interesting story. I have a relationship with the Camarenas, not because I have them pay me to do any marketing or anything like that. What basically happened is they reached out to me as a reviewer here on YouTube. And originally I was talking to them about doing some stuff with Maracame, because this amazing family made Maracame out of Casa Camarena distillery. And I reached out to talk to them about that, but Maracame was something that they weren't really dealing with anymore at the time. So they said, hey, how would you like to try our new brand that my father Mauricio created, and let us know what you think about that. And so I said, absolutely, sure. Now, the way I work and the way I work with brands is I don't charge them for exposure. I don't charge them to do videos. What I do is I say, look, send me your expressions that you're proud of, and I'll do a review of them. And if I like them, then I'll tell people that I like them and stuff on my review channel. And if it's really good and it's something that you can distribute in an area where we can purchase it for my online store, we will add it to our online store to help get this into the hands of people across the United States. And so they said, okay. And they actually sent me a bottle of the Repo and the Blanco of Carrera first. And I tried them, and I talked to Eduardo Lalo, which is Mauricio's son, and talked to Mauricio, learned about the brand, learned about the passion behind it, and really enjoyed meeting them and learning about their history. Well, through our communications talking about Carrera and their passion, we became friends. So I did the review of Carrera, and I did their Blanco and their Repo, which were actually really good. I enjoyed them a lot. They weren't fantastic, they weren't great, but they were really good. And so I did a review and gave them a good review and recommended them, and people started picking them up and purchasing them. It was available at Bevmo and stuff at the time, so people could buy it at Bevmo or Total Wine, and they were trying and really enjoying it. And so they loved the fact that I embraced their brand and became friends with them and wanted to help them and stuff. And so they said, hey, Hombre, we understand you have a group called the Tequila Barrel Agave Collective. We'd like to do something special for you. Would you like to work on a project with us? And I said, absolutely, I would. So they said, well, what would you like to do? And I said, I would really like to do a special batch and maybe do a high proof Blanco of the Carrera. And they said, that sounds like a good idea. Let's do it. So we then picked a time where I would fly out to visit them, visit the distillery, get a tour, really get to meet the family more, and get to know the family, get to know Mauricio and Lalo and Mauricio Jr. and really, become friends with the family. So I flew out on my own dime, booked a hotel, stayed at the hotel myself, paid for everything myself, and met with them and said, hey, let's do this high proof Blanco. Let's work on putting together something that has a different flavor profile, maybe something that's really special. And they were great with it, said, okay, let's do it. Now, keep in mind, the whole time we were working on this, the whole purpose of this was for a special batch for the Tequila Barrel Agave Collective, which was my group. So it would be an exclusive item for them and something that was going to be special and different. Well, after several trips back and forth to visit with them and to try different examples of stuff that they came up with. We came down with one that was absolutely phenomenal. And after I tried it, I went, oh my God, this stuff is so good. We're going to buy the whole entire batch. And they kind of looked at me a little confused and said, you know, this is over 200 cases. Are you sure you're going to buy the whole entire batch? I said, absolutely. They said, well, because of your work and dedication that you've done in helping us create this product, we would like to honor you on the bottle by doing a neck tag, which you can see here. So we created a neck tag that now says the Carrera Special Edition presented by the Tequila Hombre. I did not pay for this. I'm not getting paid for this. This is something they did to honor my work that I did for free on creating this amazing Blanco with them, this High Proof Blanco, and getting it so we can enjoy it as tequila enthusiasts. Now, as this had some time to sit in the tank and kind of mature and meld, the flavors meld together. My final trip back, I've made about 4 trips at this point to Arandas on my own expense to work with them on this project. We did another tasting of it and compared it with the old Carrera and compared it with some other things, and it just really stood out as being exceptional. So they said, hey, I hope you don't mind, but we're going to take some of your batch and we're going to dilute it down and do a 40% Blanco version of this and release it beforehand because we're running low on Blanco and we'd like to initiate this new flavor profile. I said, absolutely, go ahead. So the Lote CTB 045 was then released, as well as the 046 in Mexico, and people were able to experience the flavor profile diluted down to 40% alcohol by volume. So recently, the still strength of the 54% has landed here in the United States. It is an exclusive to the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, and I am proud to present it to everybody as one of the best tasting high proof Blancos I have ever tasted. Now, the reason why I'm presenting it as one of the best high proof Blancos I've ever tasted isn't because I'm making some weird tons of money off of it from fermenting still, because, well, I'm not. And it's not because I'm getting paid to promote this. That's not the case either. It's because it truly is one of the best, most amazing high proof Blancos I have ever tasted. Now, I've set some guidelines as to what I was looking for, and this hit just about every single one of them. So let's go over those guidelines now. So the guidelines we were working on when we were creating this high proof Blanco is we wanted agave to be king. I love nothing more than when I go to distilleries to having the oven opened up after the agave have a chance to cool down and just ripping off a piece of cooked agave and just gnawing on it and enjoying the flavors that come from the beautiful cooked agave. So the cooked agave had to be king in this. And I wanted cooked agave to be front and present and dominate the flavor profile. And this one hit the nail on the head. The flavors of cooked agave are amazing on this Blanco. And I wanted any fermentation added flavors to not detract from the amazing cooked agave notes that are in the Blanco. And we accomplished that as well. But let's not waste any more time. Let's crack a bottle. Let's do a review and let's talk about the amazing flavors that we get from this amazing high proof Blanco. All right, hold the horses though. Before we dive into the tasting of this, let's talk about the production that's going to be important for people to know. Now, the Camarenas are epically known for growing amazing agave. So of course, they used top-notch agave in creating this Blanco. The agave were cooked in a brick oven, and then after they were cooked in a brick oven, they were then, the sugars were extracted using a roller mill and then fermented in stainless steel tanks. And they did not use fiber when fermenting. Then after fermentation was complete, they used a stainless pot still with copper coils to double distill this to create the flavor profile that they have. Now, some additional notes on the fermentation side of things. They decided to let this go a little bit longer at a colder temperature. So the yeast didn't devour everything so fast and produce off flavors. It was done at a colder temperature and then let it go a little longer so it danced in the malolactic fermentation area, but didn't go too far where it produced some off mallow notes. So it'll increase a little bit of butterness in it, a little hint of cheese, and that is it. It does not overpower anything. There's no weird funk to it. It is crisp and clean, and it is beautiful cooked agave notes. And then it is bottled at 54% alcohol by volume, which is what it's distilled at. And then it was sent here to the United States. Now, this tequila is 100% additive free. Not a single drop of additives were used in the production of this tequila. I can assure you of that. All right, so now let's look at the new bottle presentation we have for this particular still strength version. They redid the label. It's a really nice white label, very clean. It says 54. It says, what is it? Alembic Reserva Especial. And then it has Blanco, still strength, 54% ABV. Highlands, 100% pure agave. Really nice information on the front. On the back, it has production notes. It tells you a little bit how it's produced and some information about that as well. A beautiful bronze-esque kind of top on the that says still strength, and on our patch, they actually misspelled strength. So this makes it an even better collector's edition, where you'll know you'll have the first edition if your strength is spelled wrong on the cap, which is kind of cool. It also has this beautiful tag, which honors myself for the work that I did with them on creating this amazing flavor profile with them. It says presented by the Tequila Hombre special edition. And then it also says that I don't get paid for this recommendation or endorsement at all. And it has information about where you can find out about me on Instagram and on YouTube. So there you go. There's a beautiful bottle that it's presented in. Let's pour some in a glass and get into the tasting. All right, so when you pour this into your glass, keep in mind that this is 54% alcohol, so it's 108 proof. So it is higher than your typical normal Blanco. And you want to be careful because it could get you very tipsy very quick. So let's take a look at this in the glass. So looking at this in the glass, you can see it coats the glass like beautifully. So amazing how it coats the glass. You don't even see the legs and tiers forming yet. You can just see them starting right at the top there. It's got a super viscous oiliness to it, which is great because that's what you want from agave. You don't want it to be watered down at all, especially at still strength. The oils on this are so rich and so beautiful. Look at that. Look at the legs just starting to form on it and the tiers. Looks amazing. Looking at the tequila itself, crystal clear, just streams of silver dashing through it. Looks amazing. All right, so the nose is going to be important to this because, again, when we do taste tequila, we taste things with our eyes, our nose, and our mouth. So let's see what we get on the nose on this. Oh. The nose is super rich, cooked agave note right off the bat. So you get that cinnamon and baking spices. A hint of butteriness coming through. Some minerality to it because they use deep well water with this. And it's very clean. Very super clean. Just loads of cooked agave right up in your face from the beginning. And it just says, I'm going to be delicious right off the bat. Oh, it smells so good. All right, so remember, this is 54% alcohol by volume. So we're going to get our mouth acclimated to 54% alcohol before we really dive into tasting. So first sip, we're going to swish around our mouth. Let our lips and our gums and stuff get acclimated to high proof alcohol, which it will sting a little bit at first, but once the stinging subsides, then it means your mouth and your gums are ready for another sip, and then we will evaluate the flavors on it. All right, so the little bit of heat has subsided in my mouth, so let's go ahead and take our first sip and see what we get here. Coats the mouth beautifully. Really nice, silky, smooth mouthfeel to it. And just the most richest cooked agave notes you've ever tasted in a Blanco. Screaming off the beginning of it. Beautiful cinnamon and baking spices. A little hint of butter in there, as well as a little bit of a cheesy note. Just super rich cooked agave though. I'm getting a little tiny hint of anise in there. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. But it's very robust cooked agave. So you get that sweet cinnamon note that just kind of sits on your tongue and just says, love me, I love you, I want to hug you, and all that other beautiful stuff. Take another sip. It just tells you, just screams to take another sip. So I must oblige. Oh yeah. Beautiful sweet cinnamon and baking spices all over the place. A little hint of vanilla coming in on it. Just a natural caramelized agave, vanilla-esque kind of note in there. A little hint of like chocolate in there as well, just from the caramelized sugars. But otherwise, this is really super clean, beautiful, sweet cooked Highlands agave. It is amazing. So this is right here, one of my best all-time high-proof Blancos I've ever had, and I've tried a lot. And I guarantee if you try this, you're gonna go, oh my God, there's so much cooked agave in this. This is amazing, and it may become your favorite high-proof Blanco as well. So there you go, Carrera High Proof 54% Blanco, absolutely amazing. A straight 5 agave for me, hardcore 5 agave. This is as perfect as I've ever had of a high proof Blanco. It is absolutely amazing. I recommend you try some. Now, this is exclusive to the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective. So if you'd like to get in on the buy, you can join the collective. It's very easy. It's only 10 bucks a month. The link is in the description. You can join and get access to some of these amazing batches and barrels that we're purchasing exclusively for this group. And also this group helps fund my trips and stuff and putting these buys together. So I appreciate those of you that are already members. And for those of you that aren't, we'd welcome you to come join our community. It's a great Discord community. So not only do you get access to the buys, but you can also become part of this amazing community. It's only 10 bucks a month, which is like what, 1.5 Starbucks a month. And you get access to some amazing tequila batches and barrel buys that I personally curate and put together for the group. So there you go, Carrera 54%, 5 agave. It is a must buy. You got to get some of this if you love Blancos and love amazing, additive free, natural tasting, beautiful tequila. Now, if you're one of those skeptical people saying, oh, this is just the hombre trying to sell stuff to us, he's a salesman or whatever, please feel free to join us on the Hombre Cave channel, as well as on Instagram, where we'll be talking about this high proof Blanco with people that have actually purchased it and are trying it as well. And so you can get that it's not just me that's talking amazing things about this Blanco. There's a lot of people, a lot of aficionados that are loving the way this thing tastes and how beautiful and how great this high proof Blanco is. So there you go. If you like the information I gave you in this video, make sure you click the thumbs up and give me a like for the information I shared. If you're new to Tequila Hombre, just visiting this for the first time, make sure you click that subscribe button right there and the notification bell next to it so you get notified anytime I post a video or do a live stream here. And more importantly, watch through some of the reviews, try some of my recommendations, and you too can be on the journey to some great tequila. And like I always say, life is too short to drink bad tequila. So hey, if you pick up the Carrera 54% from the TBAC, the Tequila Barrel and Agave Collective, you'll be drinking the best. Salud.